Come on, hair. Give me just a little something, like a little personality, anything. That's as good as we're gonna get, I think. Hey everyone, today we're gonna do something a little bit different than usual. I made a promise to myself 4.5 years ago when I first started my channel that I would never own so much makeup that I couldn't fit every category into one drawer each. So for example, I have my IKEA Alex storage unit. I think there are 6 drawers, and all of my makeup for my base makeup has to fit in the first drawer. Then my lip products in another drawer, my eye makeup in another drawer, and then palettes and miscellaneous items like rhinestones, lash glue, and stuff like that in another. And then the last 2 drawers are used for just items I'm considering decluttering or product backups, things like that. Lately, I've gotten to the point where I have a ton of spillage in the lip product category. And normally it's really easy for me to keep it to one drawer. I'm ruthless when I do declutters. In fact, this is my declutter bin that I have been collecting for months and months and months and months, and I'm gonna do a declutter on this. But for today's video, I pulled out the least used lip products in my daily makeup drawer. So for today's video, I'm gonna apply every single lip color and determine, first of all, why I haven't been reaching for it, and then if it deserves a spot in my collection or if it's gonna go in the declutter bin. And this frame is just a little weird. Normally I have this angle where you can see like the window and it's all pretty, but you'll see that it creates a shadow on my face. But if I'm filming B-roll or if I'm doing an application clip where I really want the colors to be true to life, I have to be right in front of this window. So I apologize if the frame's a little weird, but let's get started. So the product I've been wearing on my lips in this video is the Vieve Lip Dew in the shade Rosa. This is what the color looks like, and I've come to realize that this is basically my exact lip shade. It's very sheer, and it has a little bit of pink and just a little bit of gray in it as well. So it's basically my exact lip color. Now, I think the reason I haven't been reaching for this is that it's so sheer, it almost just looks like a clear gloss, and I tend not to really wear clear glosses. I think this formula is lovely. It has kind of a chemically, kind of caramel scent that I don't love, but it's thicker for a kind of lip oil formula. It's comfortable, it's a little cushiony, but I think you can hear like my when I do P's, you get that gloopiness with this formula. And then that's something that I start being really aware of as I'm wearing it. I'm like, oh no, is it in my mouth? Is it on my teeth? Is it doing some gloopy thing that I can't tell? So I don't think I've been reaching for this formula because I keep trying to build it up to get the color, but it's just so sheer that then it ends up being gloopy. So for me, I think Rosa is one that I'm gonna declutter, and I think I might keep the next one. So next up we have the Vieve Lip Dew in the shade Cherub. And this one has a little bit more pigment than the shade Rosa, but even just with one layer, I'm still getting that gloopiness, the kind of like sound that I really don't like because I can see a little bit of stringiness between my lips. I tend to prefer a formula that's on the thicker, grippier side, but a lot of times that doesn't necessarily mean that something's gonna be really gloopy. And in this case, it kind of is. And I think that's why I haven't been reaching for this one in particular. Although I really do like this shade. I think it's a gorgeous, slightly sheer, hot pink, and it's nice and warm and beautiful for spring. We haven't yet had warm weather here in Garberville, California, so maybe when the weather changes, I'll start reaching for hot pink colors like this. I think maybe I haven't been reaching for it also just because it's been winter and I don't really wear a lot of bright pinks in the wintertime. So this one I'm gonna keep, and if I don't reach for it over the next month, then I think I'm gonna declutter it. So next, we actually have all 3 of the Lisa Eldridge Embrace glosses that I purchased, and I think the reason I haven't been reaching for these is that these colors are so similar. In my mind, when there's one formula that has such similar colors, I end up not reaching for it because my brain can't really distinguish between the 3. So I think I have to narrow it down to the 2 most different shades. And right now I'm wearing the shade Blush, and this one I think is beautiful. By the way, I'm so sorry for my chipped nails. I have a full-time corporate job. It's very hard to run 2 YouTube channels and make sure that your nails and your hair and everything always looks nice. So it is what it is. But these are the 3 colors that I have: Blush, Muse, and Sorcery. And Blush on the end here, I think is the most me. I love that there's just a little bit of pink in it. That little bit of rosiness is something that I definitely would reach for on a daily basis. So I'm gonna keep Blush. And this formula is just really nice and lightweight. It feels like a lip oil mixed with a lip balm. It's not too slippery or runny, but it's got a little bit of grip to it. It's really, really lovely. And now let's declutter one of these. Next, we have the shade Muse, and I think this is the closest to my natural lip color, definitely more of a nude shade on me. There's a little bit of pink in there, but it's also like quite gray, and there's a little bit of beige, a little bit of peach. It's a very, very interesting shade. Upon first glance, I want to keep this because I love anything that's close to my natural lip color that makes for, you know, the perfect nude lip. When I really think about it though, when I'm going for a supernatural lip kind of look, I will reach for something like my Fit Glow lip serums, my M Cosmetics lip cushions. However, when it comes to a nude lip, I have to not just think about why I would love this product individually, but I have to think about how it would fit into my collection and what I might be reaching for over this. And that might be the reason that I'm not reaching for this regularly. So when I think about a glossy nude lip, the first thing that comes to my mind is the Ami Colé Lip Treatment Oil in Bliss. It is my #1 favorite lip gloss. It is incredible. It's thick, it's cushiony, it's the perfect shade. And this is very, very close, but this is just not quite as good on me as the Ami Colé Lip Treatment Oil in Bliss. Something about this shade, also the formula is just a little bit lighter and I like something a little bit thicker, a little bit more tacky so that it's longer lasting and is a little bit more occlusive. So for me, I think Muse is the one that I'm gonna declutter. Next, we have the shade Sorcery, and this one I think I'm gonna keep. It's a little bit more of a cool toned brown, but it's not too dark. There's a little bit of sheerness to it so that it feels wearable. Definitely something I would love reaching for in the fall and winter time. And when I think about any lip products this would compete with, the only thing that comes to mind that I have that's similar to this is the Fit Glow lip serum in the shade Full, which was like my favorite chocolate brown, but they've since discontinued that and the stopper of mine came out, so it's like super gloopy and gross. So I think that I would reach for this over the Fit Glow lip serum. It's also difficult to wear things on YouTube that have been discontinued because then everyone's like, what are you wearing? And you're like, I'm so sorry, you can't get it. And I find myself not reaching for discontinued or limited edition items because of that. And so I think that I'm gonna keep Lisa Eldridge Sorcery and I might go upstairs and declutter Fit Glow Full. Next, we have 2 sheer red lip glosses and I just really don't reach for either of them because when it comes to a sheer flush of color, I will always, always, always reach for something like this instead. So here we have the, oh my God, I don't even know what this is. This is the Runway Rogue Gloss by Patricia Hartman in the shade Perfect Pout. An almost identical product is the Beauty Pie Wondergloss Collagen Lip Oil in the shade Cherry-O. And then my favorite is the Beauty Pie Wondergloss Collagen Lip Oil in the shade Jammy. Those bitches have discontinued Jammy and I am devastated. Look at this color. It is the perfect berry because there's a little red in it. And so it's like sheer and it's slightly red, slightly berry. It is just my perfect kind of like flushed lip color. But I don't wear it on camera anymore because they discontinued it and they kept Cherry-O. So I need to figure out between the 2 of these that have the exact same look on the lips, which formula I prefer. So this is Beauty Pie Cherry-O, one of my all-time favorite formulas. It is so lightweight and like slippy, but it's thick and cushiony at the same time. So it's just like ultra buttery. It has this incredible vanilla cupcake scent. It just feels like this gorgeous hydrating gel on the lips. I love it. It's kind of like the lighter weight version of the Fit Glow lip serums. That's why I love this so much. But I just won't reach for Cherry-O when I have Jammy, even though they discontinued it. I'm just frankly not a red lip girl. Like red is the one color that you will rarely see me wearing. So I'd like to either declutter one of these or both of these because it's a sheer red and I'm just not reaching for either of them. So the Runway Rogue by Patricia Hartman gloss in the shade Perfect Pout is beautiful. As you can see, compared to Cherry-O, this also is a little bit more true red, whereas Cherry-O was more like pink red. And since I'm never gonna reach for Cherry-O over Jammy, I'm gonna declutter Cherry-O. And then I did see that they have a similar shade of Jammy. It's called Plum Naked. I think it's a little bit more cool toned, unfortunately. And the reason I love Jammy was because it had a little bit of red in it, but I'm sure it'll be just fine. These lip oils from Beauty Pie are so sheer. They all basically look the same anyways. And back to the Runway Rogue gloss. Compared to the Beauty Pie, it is a balmy gloss is what I would say. Whereas the Beauty Pie Collagen Lip Oil is a gel liquid lip balm. So this feels a little bit thinner in texture because it doesn't have that like plush, cushiony gel-like quality to it, but it has more tack because it's a lip gloss, but there's a little bit of balminess to it as well. So I really like it. And I think if I were to reach for a sheer red lip, I can see myself reaching for this. The question is, will I ever reach for a sheer red lip? And that's something that I have to think about because no, ever since I bought this, I thought it was beautiful and amazing, but I've never reached for it. Something about this sheer red color I just don't like. I would rather reach for something a little berry, a little pink. So if I'm really gonna put on my critical thinking hat, I don't think I'm gonna wear this one either. So this is gonna go in the maybe zone. Next is the incredible Jammy Lips Lacquer Lip Tint in the shade, sorry, they don't say. It's not on here. This was like $4 on sale at Sephora, so I'm not too mad about it. The formula, real. It's so thick. It's like the Charlotte Tilbury Happy Kiss lipstick balms that I love so much, but with a fruity scent. And it's even thicker and stiffer. So it's one of those components that you twist up and can't twist back down. And it's super melty and it just forms this kind of like lip mask feeling. My problem with this is that this is far too pigmented. And it's such a shame because I love the formula, but the nude shades were all sold out. And so I just think that those would be better suited to me because this formula is a dream. And I just don't think I would be reaching for this color. I thought it was gonna be, I think, a little more berry or a little more brown, and it's definitely more red than I was expecting. And also, if I zoom you in, the pigment is just not very even in this. I feel like it kind of gathers along the edges of my lip lines and in the corners of my mouth. And I just don't want to be thinking about that when I have something really pigmented on. So this one is an easy declutter. Next, we have the Live Tinted Hue Gloss in the shade Brilliant. This was a limited edition shade. It's just this super shimmery champagne color with lots of little micro glitters that you can't feel on the lips. And this formula is very similar to the Beauty Pie, but it's thicker. So it's got that cushiony, gel-like plush quality to it, except this one's fragrance free and it's definitely thicker. And what's great about it is you can't feel the shimmer at all. I hate glitter glosses and I avoid them at all costs because I don't like that gritty feeling on my lips. This is incredibly smooth. I don't know. I look at myself and I'm like, I don't look great. It looks fine. It's a nice shimmery gloss, but am I really gonna reach for this over another lip luminizer like my beloved Fit Glow Lip Serum in Beach? That one has a little bit of a copper quality to it, so it kind of warms up my complexion. I just feel like as pretty as it is, as comfortable as it is, am I gonna look at myself in the mirror and want this lip look over something like my Ami Colé lip treatment oil in Bliss that basically looks clear but kind of flushes a little bit nude? And the answer is no. I'm not gonna reach for this over that. And so this should be decluttered, even though this is a great product and I really, really love it. I'm just not reaching for it. This one's the Victoria Beckham Posh Gloss in the shade Tan Line. And first, I just wanted to show you in the B-roll that this product has started separating as it sits in my lip drawer. And I think it's because I don't reach for these all that often. I love this formula, but I don't love the colors that I have. And I posted on Instagram and a ton of people said they had the same thing. Within like a month of sitting in their drawer, all the pigment kind of started separating in the formula. And then the people who said that they use theirs regularly, they didn't have that issue. So it's not like your product's going bad. It's just not super stable. And keeping in mind that Victoria Beckham is a clean beauty brand, that's probably why. Personally, I am not on board with clean beauty. Give me my preservatives, give me my stabilizers any day of the week. I would rather have products that like don't grow mold after a few months or, you know, just appear a little bit more stable. But I do really like this formula. I just think that this color doesn't really do me any favors. Like it's a little bit yellow and a little bit gray. And in looking at the viewfinder, I think it just makes me look like a little bit sick. I think because I have cool toned skin, I need a little bit of pink in there to match my skin tone. Otherwise I look a little bit like jaundiced or a little bit dead. So I just don't think I'm gonna reach for this and I'm gonna declutter it. But I do have the Victoria Beckham lip glosses in Fizz and Bungalow, and I really enjoy those. Two lipsticks from Victoria Beckham. Again, another product where I love their formula, but I just don't really get along with the Victoria Beckham lip colors. Something about them are always a little bit off. They're not as nuanced as I would want. Like they're always, for my personal tastes, a little too something. So I'm gonna start with Spark and Twist, and I might end up keeping these. I remember in the case of Spark and Twist, these just looked so similar in my mind. I think I don't reach for them because I can't remember what they look like. And when I have something in my collection where I can't remember what it looks like, I just end up not reaching for it. Yeah, okay, so they're like super similar. So up close, we have the shade Spark right here, and then we have the shade Twist right here. And I swatched them, so we have Spark right here and Twist right here. So I'm gonna start with the shade Spark. This reminds me a lot of the Kosas lipstick in Stardust, but I think with a little bit more berry. It is quite a nuanced shade, so I'll take that back about Victoria Beckham colors. It's a little bit of red, a little bit of brown, a little bit of berry. There is definitely a lot going on here. I just think that this kind of color, again, like something is off about it with my complexion and it's just not doing me any favors. And I think because it does have like a little bit of red in it, it's just not something that I reach for. This is the shade Twist, and I do think this is a little bit better suited to me. It is lighter, it's definitely more of a nude, but again, there's just like something off about it on me. It's a little gray, I don't know, I'm trying to figure it out. Again, with some of these shades, it's a shade thing, and I just can't figure out why I don't like it on me. It's just a little dull. I wish I had a better understanding of color theory so I could say, oh, this is why it's not working for me. Because it looks like a beautiful, slightly pinky nude on my hand, but on my lips, it just kind of looks flat. And so I just don't think I'm gonna reach for it, and I'm gonna pass this one along as well. Oh, also the Victoria Beckham lipsticks have a rose scent to them, which is quite disappointing. I really don't like anything floral scented as well. So that might be why subconsciously I'm not reaching for it. Another lip product from Vieve is the lipstick, the Matte Radiance. What is it? Matte, Modern Matte lipstick in the shade Promise. I remember wearing this in person and thinking it looked terrible. And then when I watched back my Vieve brand review, I was like, whoa, that lipstick looks really good on you. You need to take it out again. And I've just forgotten to, so let's see how this goes. Again, I'm having the same situation that I experienced the first time I tried this on and filmed on camera. In my mirror, this looks incredibly gray and purple. Like it looks straight up like a mauve shade. But I remembered watching my footage back and thinking it looked really beautiful. It looked a little bit more pink and not quite as purpley gray. So I'm gonna look at the footage back, but I think that I should base my opinion off of the way it looks in the mirror, which is just like super gray and super purple. Yeah, again, it looks more pink in the camera, even though the rest of my colors are really true to life. So I don't know what's up with that, but you can see this color that looks pink here is not this color. This is just so much darker, so much more purple, so much more gray. It's just a true mauve. And I don't think that I like that, but this is a beautiful matte formula. And if they have any other colors that would be better suited to me, I would definitely consider buying them because this is the most comfortable matte lip formula I've ever tried. And it's not like a matte lipstick that's supposed to have those like balmy powder pigments. It's just matte and it is somehow not drying. It almost feels like I'm wearing nothing on the lip. So I love this formula. I just don't think that this shades for me. This is Tom Ford's lipstick in the shade Neutral Party, and I first purchased this because Hung Van Gogh used it on a model and she looked absolutely incredible. This actually is more similar to the Kosas lipstick in Stardust than Victoria Beckham Spark. It's got some rose, it's got some red, it's got some brown, it's muted. The formula is a satin lipstick. It's very creamy, super glidey and buttery on the lips, but it's not slippery. It stays in place. It's comfortable. It's a beautiful formula. I just think these kind of like slightly red shades are not for me. I think that I'm just better suited to something that's a little bit more pinky, a little bit more berry, a little bit more my kind of nude. I did pay full price for this though, so I don't want to get rid of this, but I'm gonna be ruthless and I just know that I'm not reaching for this. Because even as I look at myself in the mirror, yeah, it's fine color, but it doesn't do anything for me personally, even though it's beautiful. We're doing pretty well here. I'm decluttering every single one except for 3. This is the Nars, whatchamacallit, soft matte tinted lip balm in the shade Unrestricted. I love this formula. My favorite shade is Brief Encounter, which is a sheer kind of beigey warm brown. But this one is a little too gray. It's a little too mauve, a little too purple for me. So you can see it on my hand there. It's a pretty classic mauve, although it looks a little bit more pink on my hand. But on my lips, again, I just think these kind of like dusty gray, purple kind of shades just don't really do anything for me. So I think I'm gonna happily stick with Brief Encounter and then pass this one along. This is MAC's Powder Kiss liquid lipstick in the shade The More the Merrier, spelled MEHR-IER. Basically the matte liquid lipstick version of the shade MAC Mare, which was really popular back in the day. This is the kind of mauve shade that I actually do think looks good on me because it's brighter. It doesn't have as much gray. You can see it's definitely still quite purpley mauve. It's just not as muted and flat, so it doesn't make me look as sick or like as dead. But in this case, I just find this formula to be a little bit drying. I much prefer the Sunny's Face lip dips and the M Cosmetics, oh, I always forget the name, the something velvet lip creams. Those 2 formulas are like the most gorgeous, buttery, balmy, powdery matte liquid lipstick formula ever. This is close. This feels basically the same on the lips, except it's just drier. And since I'm trying to think critically here, even though I like this shade of mauve more, would I reach for a mauve shade over, you know, all of my other lipsticks and liquid lipsticks that I love? And the answer is really no. Like this appearance in this specific color, I just can't think of a time when I would want to reach for this over all the other colors that I use on a daily basis. So for me, because of the color and because it's just a little bit drying, I'm gonna declutter this one. And lastly, we have 3 of the new Rare Beauty tinted lip oils, and all of the other shades I have in my daily makeup drawer and I love them. But they launched 3 shades that are almost identical, and I haven't been reaching for these because I can barely differentiate them in my brain. So today I'm gonna try to really pay attention to the differences in the color and then pick one max that I want. So here are the 3 pink shades from the Rare Beauty line. We have Hope, Happy, and Wonder, and they're just various slight undertone differences and like differences in depth, with Wonder being the darkest. I think that's the one I'm probably gonna go with. And these 2, Hope and Happy, being almost identical. And they do stain, so let's see what it's like when we remove them. Oh, I probably didn't leave them on long enough because they didn't really stain all that much, but they did stain the same color. So this is the shade Hope from the Rare Beauty Tinted Lip Oils. I don't really think it does anything for me. It's a nice pink, but I think the shade Wonder is gonna be a little bit better for me. So this one is gonna be decluttered. And I have to take this off before it stains. Now we have Happy, and I think this one is a little bit nicer. It's a little bit warmer in my opinion. Definitely a true bright happy pink, but I just have to think, will I reach for this pink over the other pinks in my collection? Like would I reach for this over the Vieve Lip Dew in Cherub? I used to be a pink lip girl. When I started my channel, I was all about pink lips. I wore pretty much nothing else, and now I almost never wear pink lips. That's one of the reasons why my declutter bin is so big, is it's like full of pink lipsticks I just don't wear anymore. So I'm just not feeling like this color is me. It doesn't reflect my personality and my inner state anymore. As suspected, I definitely like Wonder a lot more, but I think if I compare it to Delight from Rare Beauty, I like Delight more. And Delight is more of like a pinky berry brown. And I would say this is just more of a classic deeper pink. I don't think I'm ready to let this one go just yet. I'm gonna go compare it to the shade Delight. And if they're super similar, then I'm gonna declutter this and just stick with Delight, because that's my favorite shade from the Rare Beauty lip oil line. I also love Honesty and Serenity. And I think my favorite shade is actually the berry one, which is Affection. But this is a really beautiful, lovely, deeper, warm pink. And so I'm gonna hold on to it for now. Okay, that's it. I think I did a really good job out of all of those. These are the 4 products I've decided to keep: the Lisa Eldridge Embrace Glosses in Blush and Sorcery, the Vieve Lip Dew in Cherub, and the Rare Beauty Tinted Lip Oil in the shade Wonder. And these are all the ones that I'm gonna pass on to other people. Oh no, they're dropping. No, come back, my little babies. My little lip babies, no. Oh god, it's a mess. They don't fit in my hands. Okay, these are all the ones that I'm gonna declutter and pass to a friend. I hope you enjoyed this casual little declutter. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos like this, and I can definitely give you more of an insight into my declutter process. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps our pages to grow, and subscribe while you're here for more videos like this. Wherever you are, I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next one.